somebody had brought space cake.
What's space cake?
Space cake. It's basically it's THC infused cake. I wound up eating about half of the cake, and when Martin got on the bus, he goes, "Who ate the cake?" And I go, "Yeah, I did." He goes, "You ate all of that?" And I go, "Yeah, why?" And he just started laughing, and he goes, "Bro," he goes, "That's space cake." And I go, "Well, yeah, it's out of this world."
If you listen to this podcast, we fucking love you. Tell one person about it, but go grab somebody. Just get one person, somebody that you think will love to laugh and enjoy it, and put them on to us. That's what we need. We need growth from within, and that's the good people that listen to us every day. Just grab one person and be like, listen, do us a favor. Go listen to episode 26, and then maybe you will get it, even though you don't get it. All right, episode, I think it's like 53, Guns Blazin Podcast, Todd. You know, a lot of times we just open this up like a bunch of dummies talking about dumb stuff because we are dummies.
It's kind of what we do.
Yeah, it's a lot what we do. But you know what? Today we have a monster special guest, a good friend of mine. This gentleman is one of the nicest dudes on the planet outside of being one of the funniest of all time without even a doubt. I mean, you're an out of control human being, and I'm just glad you came. Mr. Gabriel Iglesias on the podcast, kid. The clean dome piece.
Right?
That thing, swag. Look at that shine. That's nice, bro. Looking light over there on your feet. You losing more weight?
A little bit. I think the angles is what helps. This way, let me tilt this a little bit. Look at that. I just lost another 5 pounds. You want to gain some weight? There you go.
There it is. That was the quickest 30 pounds I've ever seen anybody lose.
That's how you catfish someone.
You know, maybe I wonder, is reverse catfish a thing? Now tell Todd who we got here.
This is Vinny.
Little Vin.
Oh, Vinny.
Little Vinny right here.
What a cute puppy.
They're always like within 5 feet of me.
Yep.
And I'm trying to put him behind. Get behind me.
Okay, this is my partner in crime, Todd McComas here. We got a little podcast thing. We just chilling, doing our thing.
You've been doing it 53 times.
Yeah,
so, I think you got some bugs out.
You're looking wonderful. Fluff, what's going on? I mean, everything's opening back up. You're going to San Antonio for a month straight? How many shows?
30 shows in 30 days. Basically, it turned into a residency.
Yeah, it did.
So, we were trying to find the best way to get back out there on the road and feel, I guess, comfortable and safe. And so we wanted to make sure that, when we started to put the thing together, all the social distancing was at the highest level. So you had to make sure that you spaced out the room and you didn't go full capacity. So we thought it'd be a good idea. Let's post up for a week and see how that goes. And it snowballed. No pun intended, Texas.
So Gabriel, as the hustler of all hustlers, were you finally like, hey, here's a year where I can enjoy myself and just kind of take it easy? Did it feel good, or how'd you take it?
So Todd, the first month I was just depressed. I was like, comedy's always been that thing that's been there for me no matter what was going on in my life. Like even when I went to my breakup and when I fell off the deep end for a minute, I always had the stage as an outlet. I always was able to go up there and vent and just do what I do. And to have that completely taken away, man, it was just like, whoa, I felt like I got canceled. I felt like, what bad joke did I do? And so it hit me hard that first month. And then I realized, I've been neglecting myself for a long time, in the sense that, I'd always make the excuse, well, I don't have time to go see the doctor. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to eat right because I'm on the road. I got to go, And so it was one of those things where I didn't have no more excuses. And I got myself a trainer and a nutritionist, and I figured, this is going to go a minute. So I started working out and everything. I saw an endocrinologist, diabetes specialist, and got my sugar under control. I wear a patch now, this little device that basically monitors my sugar level around the clock. So if I eat a Twinkie, an alarm goes off, which I think is the funniest thing.
Is that Dexcom?
An alarm goes off.
Is that a Dexcom?
No, it's a, God, I always forget the name of it.
But similar. It's like kind of like it's just constantly monitoring you.
Oh yeah, around the clock. So it also works if your sugar drops, because I never had that problem. But the medication I'm using, and that's the one that really affects you. Like I can rock 400 on my sugar. I don't know. But if I'm below 80, I'm hitting walls. I'm stumbling. I'm like, whoa.
Nice. I have an alarm that goes off every time I eat a Twinkie late at night too, and it comes from the bedroom, and it sounds like I can hear the rapper.
Hey, I know I'm so much more versed with like how diabetes works now because my girl's son's type 1, so it's just around the clock action, Yeah, so he has a Dexcom.
Way more hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, he has a Dexcom, and then another kid, an IndyCar driver, Connor Daly. He has the one where Dexcom's on one side and the insulin's on the other, and they just talk to each other and and just do it. He don't have to do it. It's like hands off. But well, you know what? Yeah, we're making moves. San Antonio for a month now. I know that every time you pick a place, whether it's your special, whether like there's always a monster significance behind it. Like you really pick it out. Like meticulously why you want to go a place, whether it's Hawaii, Bakersfield, El Paso. I mean, so what was it about San Antonio? It was outside of the amazing food.
San Antonio was the first place I got to go to hang out and just get to really feel comedy. It was 1999, I guess. It was the Latino Laugh Festival. Mm-hmm. And so it was the first time I got a chance to be around a lot of comedians and a lot of comedians of color that were all we all had the same goals. And so to be in the mix with something like that and everybody's has their ideas and their visions and to be in San Antonio and just hanging out for the entire week, it was awesome. It was like, oh, this is like comedy camp. And San Antonio it's when people talk about San Antonio, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. I mean, you go anywhere and it's just like, wow. And the food, the people, everything about the city. It's definitely my favorite place to perform outside of home. I mentioned that it's El Paso and San Antonio. Those two tied right there.
Yeah,
both Texas.
I still can't get Bart Reed to book me. So I wouldn't know. I've only done the arenas there for 5,000 to 10,000 with you. I don't really play with the smaller clubs in town, Gabe. So
shout out to Bart Reed if he's listening. Book Latham already. Come on.
What is it? The same? Is it the theater where you did Valentine's Day? Because I remember the first time I was in San Antonio when you brought me. It was early 2010 and or 11, but I think 10. And I think it was Valentine's Day weekend, and we were at that really nice theater in San Antonio.
No, it was probably the Majestic or the Empire.
I think it was Majestic.
They have a lot of theaters close to each other, and so I want to say two of them are literally back to back. I want to say it's the Empire and the Majestic. Mm-hmm. I think. This time around it's a place called the Tobin Center, and it's right? It's the Majestic, the Empire, Tobin Center. This place is very state of the art. It's really, really cool. You want to go online and check out the Tobin Center's YouTube page. The seats, you can configure the room with a computer. And so let's say you want 100 seats on the floor. You basically, like with an iPad, you configure how you want it, and the floor opens up and seats come out of the floor, and then they position themselves however you want.
Wow.
It's freaking gnarly. It's I've never seen anything like that. And they have a really amazing filtration system, which is also a reason why we wanted to go there. So all the air just gets sucked up. You can basically, they did a test where they filled the room with smoke, and they completely cleared the room of smoke within 10 minutes with the filtration system. So it's pretty badass. It's like I said, it's state of the art, and we chose it because we could configure the room, and the air is going to be great.
That's going to be the future, right? Everyone's going to gravitate toward that.
Mm-hmm. But
how many seats?
I love the city. I love the city, and it's always had a special place in my heart. And even when I did Houston with the Toyota Center, they San Antonio got butthurt, and they're like, hey, and I'm like, I'm sorry, just
Houston, Houston, right there, Houston. Oh wait, what do you guys know about that?
That
was Patron night. Patron with the Mexican homies that were all tattoo artists that rolled up with all the Bud Lights. after you were about a good half bottle in doing a meet and greet.
Oh my God.
By the way, Fluffy don't drink very often, but when he does, I'm telling you guys, look out, bro. You're going to get yourself into some shit. Man, these dudes can run over.
He's shaking his head. He's like, "Oh God, if you only knew."
I know. And yeah, that was the night. That was like my breaking in. Like that was like me getting jumped in kind of thing.
Yeah, that tattoo was no. I mean, with the whole headdress on the girl, it's a badass tat.
I mean, it's still going strong, dude. Hold on, get in there, bro.
Look at that.
I added a bunch, but no, that was like a 4. We were there until like 6 a.m, just drinking beers, chilling out. 2 of us getting tats. Me and El Catrine Quaylar.
Those guys didn't know what they were in for. They're like, no, we thought we'd do a name or something. We didn't know we were going to be here for 2 days.
I don't know. I think
your whole arm.
Yeah, but I think those dudes would have stayed there until 2 more days. No problem. Fluffy in there chilling.
I was contemplating getting a tattoo of the Patron bottle on my back.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where I was at. And fortunately, the guys talked me out of it. And, when we saw the sun coming up, we're like, yeah, we ain't going for round 2.
Oh man, that shit is hilarious.
That's the closest I've come to getting a tattoo was that night.
I bet.
Yeah, but I've been
that was a wild introduction.
A lot of tattoos. Our buddy Ivan, he is a diehard Raider fan, and we got him one of the baddest Raider tattoos in Denver, which we found hysterical. And it's like, places, that's where you got it.
Yeah, in Denver. That was a. You know what else? Houston, there was always some wild shit happening when we got there. Like whenever you decided just to do the club instead of do the fucking arena. I think you gave the night to James Harden one time, and we just went over to the Improv, and that was the time that was their last. You did their last night ever.
That was so much fun. I mean, that club itself was badass. It didn't look like any other Improv. And the green room was downstairs. There was a whole flight of stairs that you had to take to get to the backstage, and then a long hallway, it was completely different from any of the other clubs. I think it's because it was designed to be a different club. It was called Spellbinders, and the Improv bought it and took it over. But yeah, we were there the last day. I remember as soon as we finished the show, people started breaking shit.
We were all downstairs, bro.
Yeah.
And like 20 people have bats, chairs, golf clubs, bro. And we're all like, oh, well, like if we could, out of nowhere. It was one of the most chaotic rooms I've ever been in because it felt like there was just like, it was lawlessness. People, I mean, I remember I grabbed a bat, bro, and I'm just beating it fucking drywall. Boom! We're all hammered, just busting up like 20 people from the staff. Everybody kind of slows down, right? And I get one more in, and right as I'm doing it, Lala Titi walks in, who's like the general manager, booker of the whole operation. And I'm just like this, just fucking full swing, going home run mode. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, Latham? And I'm like, I'm the only one who gets popped right now. There's 30 people down here just beating the piss out of this place.
It was like first practice.
Yeah. And then we went to, what's the place we always go to in Houston with the big ass plates?
Oh, well, wait. I got to finish the story. I took, the paper towels, the dispenser.
Oh, yes. It was on the bus for like 2 years.
I figured, what the hell? They're going to demolish this place anyway. So I took the paper towel dispenser off the wall. And my plan was to have it installed on the bus so that we could just do this thing with paper towels.
The first part executed fully. The first part was executed fully. And then, sorry, guys. Quiet down. Delivery guy just rolled up. And then the second half, the thing just kind of sat underneath in one of the bays for a while, probably next to the 45-pound dumbbells that we used one time.
Yeah. I got inspired to take weights on the road, and basically just made the gas more expensive.
And we had a full weight set, bro. And then I remember one time, you weren't even there. You flew home. It was just a Misfits on a Tuesday. And we were at the hotel outside of Kansas City, and then we unloaded the weights, all the weights. It looked like a prison weight room right here out in the parking lot of like a fucking Homestead Inn or whatever. And we had a grill and the weights. And Martine, who with the wife beater on looks like he's in jail.
Yeah, he looks like
like
the baddest dude on the block in the prison yard. Yeah,
we looked like a unit on the yard. It really, because everybody was just wearing their tank tops, bro, and everybody just looked like we get all the tats, all that shit. Dude, it was so much fun. Though we sat there and made ribs or some shit.
Oh my god! Yeah, all the things that I missed when I flew home. You know, going home trying to work on this family thing that didn't work out, but hey.
Oh man, I was thinking of questions. What's that?
I said you guys were getting your swole on and your rib on.
Yeah,
right.
Mostly rib though, mostly ribs. One of my questions was, when you get to a level like when you're just so monstrous of a brand and just an act where you can just go anywhere on the planet and just crush minimum. I mean, the small end now is 5,000. Does that how does that bleed into like your regular life? Because obviously, we hung out for so many years, day and night, but it was also when we hung out, we that wasn't the part when you were alone or that you're just doing your own when you're completely away from it. Does it dull your regular life down too much? Do you think? Is the highs too fucking high?
Well,
sometimes
I used to have a joke about how on stage I'd walk out to the and then I'd come home to take out the trash. It's full. I'm like, but you don't understand. People were chanting. They're like, blah, feet, blah, feet. Like, take out the trash.
Oh shit, that is wild. Those high. You know what I always love?
It was very very different. It's like the high is incredibly high. It's right there with a drug. I mean, it's euphoric, that many people just going crazy for you. And then you go home and you're trying to regroup, and it's night and day. And you have to appreciate each thing, the crowd and the shows, but you got to also appreciate the normal too, and enjoy just trying to be regular dude when you're at home. But yeah, it was very, very, like, it was a culture shock every week. It was just like a reset.
Yeah. Cause I always knew, like, obviously, we do this to get to that level. Like that's all of our dream, and then, but I always wondered, I've made it how we've made it along our way, we've done our thing, but after just watching, like I would get you every single time. I always wanted to be out in the crowd when you came out. Like I was either loved being right next to you, like right behind you, getting some kind of cool picture where, if you're just rolling out, or just being in the crowd in the back, because the energy was like nothing I've ever felt. And you get chills every single time. 700 show, 700th arena, you're out in the crowd, the chills pop up, so, and especially in Europe. How much fun do you enjoy Europe? And do you plan on going back after this shit? Because remember when they would all stomp down at the same time instead of us, how we all clap different?
Yeah,
at different times.
In the stand, it sounds like a soccer game. The people start stomping the ground, and the it's like a roar. It's I can't even explain it. It's like a stampede. It sounds like a stampede in the building because everybody's just stomping their feet. And I'm like, what the hell is it? And you can hear it. You can hear it throughout the entire building, outside. I mean, it's awesome. Going to Europe is that's what I meant to say about that was a culture shock for me, because I'm like, oh shoot, I remember getting called American, and it didn't sound nice when they
yeah.
I had to leave America to be American.
Oh shit. I know that was like a military operation. We had like 30 military bags of merch, and we rolled it off train to bus to plane. I mean,
I gotta send you some of those pictures. Yeah, I got pictures of all that. It was pretty awesome. They have a whole different level of appreciation for you as an artist, and I definitely can't wait to go back. It's like it's like these shows but on crack, because they're just super fanatical.
Yeah,
super, like they wait. They wait for you, like they wait for you over there. It's insane.
When we got.
when you get to the point when you can tour like that, Gabriel, like when you first set up that first big tour, is the coolest part of that being able to build your road family, like Shaun and Martine and these people that you love, and to be able to take them with you?
I was trying to just hang out with people that I got along with. I wanted to make sure that, doesn't matter how funny you are, I got to live with you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They showed so much love as openers, but the moment that the lights went down and the music started, I'm just a dude doing balloon animals, really, at the end of the day, like at Chevy's before the fajitas.
We had so many people on that tour bus, and I had no idea. It's like, who teaches you how to tour and how to live on a bus and how many people to have and how many people not to have? And then, as years go by, I start learning about other tours and seeing how other people do it. And I'm like, oh, wow, I really went hard, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
For example, Kevin Hart has like, 4 or 5 openers. Mm-hmm. I went to go watch his the filming of his special in Philadelphia. And it's just like another one. I'm like, how many goddamn openers does he have? And then I remembered, I'm like, oh shit, I had 5 openers. And
how much time did his openers do though?
Each guy would do like 15 minutes.
Okay, that's a lot though.
That's a long.
Your show was way tighter.
Yeah, and I mean, at one point it was you, Martine, Alfred, Rick, G. Riley.
Yeah, those 5 of us, and then we would do the merch commercial.
Yes,
which was honestly one of the best things ever. Like that shit got because I didn't get the when you have no ability to be. I mean, as an opener, like you think you can work on new material and shit in front of 5,000 people. It's really a mind fuck, because you're like, I'm gonna go up here and I got my 8 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Like I'm thinking I'm gonna throw a new bit in. Well, fuck out of here. I mean, I didn't have the balls to do that. One time you made me do it though in San Francisco. One of the first nights I went up, one of the first month of the tour, 2010, Todd, we go to fucking San Francisco. We're at this Chinese place eating. That's unbelievable. And then you were like, hey, you can go up tonight, but you can't do anything you've ever done. And it was at that amazing ass Round Theater. What was the name of that place in San Francisco? It's unbelievable.
Oh shoot!
I heard the name of it, but it was
Santa Rosa, because I remember there was that theater that George Carlin did a couple specials at. That just it was a really big thrust round stage in the front.
Yes, that was it. And I went up there, dude. I wrote like you made. I was so like you. That was one of the biggest challenges in my comedy life, because that was at least 3,000 to 5,000 people. And he's like, yeah, you can go up tonight, but you can't do any material you've ever done. I was like, oh,
I love it.
Fuck, no pressure.
Yeah. I was writing jokes with the Chinese spot stuff in San Francisco.
Was that the same weekend that somebody had brought space cake?
What's space cake?
Space cake. It's basically it's THC infused cake. It's like
nice.
It's a big ass edible.
Is that the one you were down for 2 days? The next day.
So people always bring cakes to the shows, and this is when I was eating the cakes. Like now, you don't know what people are up to, so it's
right.
Unless the thing is like double wrapped and you got the store label and everything, and you can tell no one's messed with it. I really don't mess with the cakes, but someone had brought this chocolate log cake. It was beautiful. It looked like what is it, like one of them Suzy Q's or
Swiss cake rolls.
Yes. So it was big. And I was on the bus and I'm like, oh man. And I freaking cut into it and I started eating it and it was delicious. Well, I wound up eating about half of the cake. And when Martine got on the bus, he goes, who ate the cake? And I go, yeah, I did. He goes, you ate all of that? And I go, yeah, why? And he just started laughing. And he goes, bro, that's space cake. And I go, well, yeah, it's out of this world. and Todd, let me tell you something, man. There are 2 days missing from my life. Because I remember that we went to, I have like this, it felt like a dream that we went to some amazing Chinese restaurant and I was still high the next day.
Yeah. That's probably why you come up with the idea to make me go up there and fucking raw dog it with some new shit on him.
And I still had to perform. And I don't know how I got through that set.
Wow.
I never seen anybody wake up that lit the next day, because it was like, after the show, you decompress, you get some food, you eat a half a weed cake, we hang out for a little bit. You're not in bed back of that bus till 3 something maybe. So you'd wake up in the early afternoon. You were lit.
Can you imagine how much THC he consumed though? He ate half a fucking space cake.
Joe Diaz calls that a Tuesday.
Yeah, he does. Oh man, that was a very distinct memory, because you're not like the rest of us are all stoners and you're not, and then you ate that cake and you were down for the count the next day. That Chinese place,
a really bad anxiety attack because of it, and sitting in front of the bus with the window open and just kind of looking out, taking deep breaths, sounded like a pregnant chick. It was bad. It was bad.
When does San Antonio start?
We start next month on the I want to say the 23rd.
Okay.
And all the way through through next month.
A full month, straight 30 days. San Antonio is going to be electric, man, for a month over there. Because people getting back out barely, you know what I mean? Just really, you haven't done anything. Some people squeeze a lot of things.
By the way, Texas and Florida, they're leading the charge. They're like, hey, you can leave your mask. like, no, it's a Texas one. I'm gonna.
I know, we're all vaxxed up, kid. I'm over here. I'm vaxxed up. Got that double shot Moderna squad. You know what I mean?
Nice.
What I don't even know what it.
I got the Pfizer one.
Nice. I don't even know what it's like to perform 30 days in a row. Like, these are huge shows. I mean, it's not just like you walked in a comedy club and doing a show. Like, this is a whole presentation every night. Like, how draining is it to go 30 days in a row? I mean, a Gabriel Iglesias show.
After being off the stage for over a year, I want to say coming up on 15 months now. Damn. 15 months. I'm just excited to be doing it, and that's why I agreed to it. Don't get me wrong. It's not every single day. We're doubling up shows on Fridays and Saturdays, and so I'm taking Mondays and Tuesdays off. So at least there's a couple of days there. But I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving San Antonio. Or normally I would jump on a plane and come back home. So the plan is to stay out there the entire time, and we're renting a house and like a real world Mexico style.
Nice.
Everybody just bunking up and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm not looking at it like, oh my God, that's going to be a lot of work. I'm looking at it like, wow, I get to hang out for a month somewhere.
Yeah.
For the cities.
Have you been like knocking the rust stuff, like getting in comedy shape somewhere? You've been going to some clubs and working stuff out, or?
I very much wanted to go up on stage and just start hitting the clubs again, but I just didn't know. I didn't feel comfortable yet.
Yeah.
My buddy Alfred Robles got me to crash his show about a week ago, and I went up on stage at the Brea Improv. He did the Brea Improv, and I went out there, and it felt weird. I was like, "Holy smoke! It's been a long time since I'd been in a club," and I did 15 minutes. And it felt really good. It felt like, wow. And I didn't even do the material I was doing. Like, I don't even remember it. I got to go back and watch tapes. I was just talking about, how I felt and what I've been doing for the last year. And it went over pretty good.
Well, if you want my Netflix password to look at all your materials, let me know. It's
nice.
About 9 hours of stuff you can pop in on. You're about to do another special. Wait, now San Antonio, is that basically a mean run for the new material to special? Because you're gonna do minimum 2 hours a night. So at minimum 60 hours of stand-up, and you probably might even do more than that some nights. So I mean, you get to do 60 plus hours over that month. Is that where you're gonna? I'm
basically gonna work out, And people were telling me, who does that? Who stops comedy for a year and then comes back, and then in 30 days I'm going to shoot a special? I'm like, Netflix is only giving me so long to
keep that front menu popping with your stuff, man.
Yeah, I just think I'm going to be so excited to perform, and it's one of the things I've missed it so much. So yeah, I'm going to come out, just swinging and just try to build this set in 30 days. And that's why I'm going to have some friends working with me to, go over the material after the shows and just listen. I never like going and listening to audio it's like it's work, and I don't like
it. Is
I don't like the work.
yeah.
But I got to do it if I want to be successful with it, because I don't want to put out a half-ass special. So
yeah. Well, that's how you come back hard, though. And you got your guys are going to be taking like notes on something, because you'll say a ton of shit you've never said before.
And then
listening to it all back. Exactly.
I see some of these guys, I guess the workaholic comics, like Gary Goldman. I remember, when I go to Club Weekend, it's kind of my vacation too, right? Like, so I like to hang out with the other comics and just have a good time, whatever. And I remember, like, I would see him year after year, and he would come in from after the first show, and he would sit in the green room, and he was listening to his set, because he was working on that new hour, and he would sit there and he'd be like taking notes or whatever, all the way up until time to go out for the second show. And then he would go out and he would do the bit a different way, or he would rearrange it and change things. And I was like, that looks so much like a job right now, Gary. Do you even enjoy the weekend or whatever? And he was like, yeah, I enjoy this. He's like, I'm fucked up, basically. Like, I'm sick in the head. I love doing this. This is what a comedy weekend is to me. This is when I'm on the road versus when I'm back, at the Comedy Cellar performing for shows a night during the week. So it's so cool to see people with different processes, but see, you were never like one of those guys, right? You're like, I'll work it out on stage.
Yeah, everybody has a different process, and I've never liked writing stuff out. I've never liked sitting. Let me do this. I don't know if it's funny until I go up in front of the crowd, and then if they laugh. If they don't laugh, and I think that there's something there, I'll try adjusting it the next night. Whether I say it slower, add a voice to it, put some type of just a little bit of spice if I think there's something there, I can find a way to pull the funny out of it. I just got to tweak it, but I can't sit and write. I've never had it in me to, all right, let me try this.
Yeah.
And that's been since school. I always struggle with that back in school. Not saying I'm illiterate or anything,
but that's just not how that's not how you don't do either. I write my stuff out, but I'm not writing out every word and shit like that.
Yeah.
One of them that mess with me is whenever I would do like a Tonight Show, they always put your jokes on cue cards, or at least your the whatever the topics you're going to cover. And so you're trying to do your thing, but then there's the guy right there, and he's like, so you're like, yeah.
I'll do that bit in a second. Calm down, buddy. One of my favorite moments, though, the entire time we worked together, it was a very it wasn't bright lights type of memory. It was just something that hit me hard, and that was like I was feeling very confident in like my jokes, and I felt like I was coming along, and I'm like, all right, after so many years, I'm finally getting a little bit of action here, and things are not, I'm on tour with you, and I'm feeling good about my jokes. And we were in Maui, I think, and I don't remember how it was, but it was just me and you hanging out in your hotel room. And I don't know if it was like a nightcap type thing.
Like, where's this going?
And we ended up talking about my set, and you told me, it's like, well, one of your things is that it's too generic. It's like you're just talking about a topic, and it's nothing personal. Like, you have to be way more personal. It has to be about you. And you said like, I had the joke about the Cougars at the time, where I'd go over to their house, bust the door open, all that shit, right? And her son would come pick me up. But the way I did it was like me explaining how Cougars work. But when you did it, it was like you were living the story, or it was a television show of your life. And you go, well, I was, because, obviously you've heard all of our jokes 55 times, and you did my joke, but you did it like the way you would do it, almost like my shit. And I remember like listening, I was trying to hear it all, because it was 50 times funnier than the bit I had ever done. Like, I've been doing this bit for 7 years, and it was trashed right then and there. You had taken it and you were like, this is how you got to make something like that personal. And you personalized it. And you were like, that's what you got to do to your jokes. And I was just like, I remember just sitting there.
Light bulb. Boom.
Yeah. I was like, man, my whole set is trash. And he just off the whim just explained why my joke is trash, even though it gets laughs, but just the way I'm portraying it, or, presenting it, and how much better it could be. It was awesome. That was one of my favorite things that ever happened, by the way.
I think with you, Shaun, we would always give you shit about it. We're like, dude, you're funnier off stage because you're being yourself. Your personality and just the way you carry yourself is it's like, that's what you need to do. That's what you needed to bring to the show. That's why I like watching when you're doing your $20 chef, man. I'm like, that's just him being him. And that's entertaining as shit right there. It doesn't matter what you're talking about because your personality carries the entire thing. I know my jokes don't fly on paper. You look at it and you're like, what is this shit? You know, it's not until you put the personality on it that you're like, it works. Trying to find your voice. That's always been the struggle for everyone. Like, okay, what is my voice? Or as Jamie Masada would say, what is your point of view, buddy? That's my best Jamie Masada. That and hey, Laugh Factory is now open. Please come to my club. Come to my club.
Oh man,
I'll use this clip. Watch.
When do you plan on doing this special?
On the 30th day.
Oh really?
Oh, so you just bring in the whole crew, film the whole thing?
Yes. And so the cool part is that the guy who designed the set, Bruce, he's designed all the sets for the specials. He's going to build the set for the special, and he's going to drop it off on the first day. So I'm going to have a whole month of having this really amazing set. Because usually you only have it for the one night for the taping of the special, and then it's gone. But this time around, I get to use it for 30 days. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. And then they come in and they tape the last 2 shows.
Nice.
Just be like your own damn theater comedy.
I gotta crank it out and be ready. So I gotta sit and do my homework, and I hate it. I gotta.
All right, boys. What did I say funny last night? Let's go over it. Those Starbucks runs. So is the main thing? Is that what the pressure is? That has to feel good though, right? Like that's like you're a dude that loves that type of shit. Like everything you do, you just any kind of moment that somebody could. The best possible reason thing would be you shine in that moment. You always do that. So is it because you like that pressure so much, and then boom, it just pops off after you rip 28 shows?
I think all the pressure comes from shitty planning on my part.
That last minute scramble.
It's like, oh God, yeah. It's a typical kid that had all week to do his homework, and then he waits till the last night. You're like, fuck. All right, let's do it.
That's got to be part of the drag of making it, is when you're contractually obligated now by someone big, a streaming platform or somebody, to crank out a new one every year. Man, because the rest of us are like, we'll get around to a new hour in 3, 4, 5 years, just a casual pace. To have to do it every year and then bang it out because boom, you're fluffy and zillions of people are going to watch this every year. Like, it's got to be a lot of pressure, even though you're as good as you are.
That is the pressure. And I'm also I'll put this one out there. I'm the only comic that has to deliver a 90-minute special.
Because they've all been like that, right?
Yeah, they've all been 90-minute specials. And so contractually, I got to deliver a 90-minute special.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Wow.
Yeah, so they found a way to get a free special in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's a fucking buy 2, get 3 free special.
That's the deal right there.
Specials right there. Now, do you think that you could go to the Netflix office and say, hey, listen, why don't you start a not so special? Because I have a handful of guys that would really crush it and that they're not that special. And I could be on that, like I could be in the not very special.
The not so special.
The lower your standards at, an evening at lower your standards. I always wondered, because when we would stop, right, you would just say, hey, like we would get to Dallas early. I remember one of the most electric shows of all time, because the electricity jumps when people get an accidental spot. They accidentally get to your show. So we would be somewhere, right? And there's, what was that 5 or 10,000 seater in Dallas that we always started at the beginning in 2010. And one of the first meet and greets that was like 4 hours because 5,000 or 6,000 people waited.
Okay. I think that was American Airlines Arena.
Okay.
Or, it had to have been that venue.
But the night before,
where the Mavericks play.
Yeah. And the night before, because I remember that meet and greet sticks out more than a lot of them, because it was one of the first ones where I think 4,090 people waited out of the 5,000. 4,900.
Wow.
But that was the longest meet and greet line in history. It was unbelievable, bro. But
I had no idea how
they would all stay.
Well, the fans staying. I mean, that was awesome for me, but I didn't realize how upset I was making everybody else that had to stay late. Well, the people that work the venues, and then come to find out I was fined a couple times. So you get fined a couple times, you'll learn to leave as soon as your show's over.
But you know what else is awesome though? When you knew after a while, like you were going to catch a fine on certain nights, because obviously some of these theaters, they're hardos, and they're like, we got to be out of here at 12:01 a.m. on the dot, or it's $10,000 fine. And then Fluffy be like, listen, man, I got like 30 minutes to go. They said for every half hour I go over, it's $10,000. Let's do an extra hour. And then motherfucking place goes crazy because he's paying the crowd at this point to do the show. But we did the Dallas the night before. You said fuck it, and I think in the afternoon you tweeted out, "Hey, I'm gonna do a free show at the Dallas Improv," or I forgot which one it was, but it was Arlington. I forget which one, but it was the one where the stage was in that corner and they had all the margaritas with the beers in them.
Nice. That's Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, and that honestly,
Arlington. No, not Arlington. God, it's been so long. That's the Dallas Improv.
Dallas. Okay, yeah, it was Dallas. Because there's that one in the corner. It was out of control. People waited on the block all day to get tickets. I think you even trying to figure out how to like get them their tickets so they can get the fuck home and not have to wait all day. Because 500 people got in line in like 10 seconds. And but it was a free show also. So not only were they lucky to even know that this is just a pop-up show, and they're not paying, and they got lucky enough to get tickets. It was one of the most, the roof, you could feel the vibration of this place. That was one of the crowds where that fucking crowd was it was too good to me, bro. Like they were getting too good to me, bro. And I didn't want to get off, but I was up there, dude. And on the setups, they were out of their minds. And I'm like, buddy, I just said, what's going on, guys? And it was, whoa. They had all the margaritas, the big fucking ones, like the 40 ounces with the Coronas in them. And that was the first time I had ever seen that. And I was like, what's going on? They had they had mango margaritas with Blue Moon in them. Whole place was shit canned and just it was an explosion of a night. That night was, that's the type of shit. Sometimes I wish there was a camera crew in there to catch those special moments that you almost can't even plan.
It's hard to get an entire room to feel the way you want them to feel. It's rare that you get 100% from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be somebody that didn't like a joke or didn't like, that was whatever. But that, like shows like that, it's an excess amount of just happy. Everybody's so happy and they're excited that they're there. And so the energy on those, it'd be awesome to be able to catch that like lightning in a bottle right there every night. But man, those shows were awesome. Anytime you got to do those.
Shit was electric.
They were just so happy, and you can see it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Can you imagine like what those people were going through? Because to catch you at a free show there at their comedy, like people had to be losing their minds, and the race to get there because there's only going to be so many tickets available, and to know that you got it. Those people are just losing their minds. And that's what a cool thing for you to do. By the way, clubs, as a former club owner, I can tell you, like that means the world to a club owner, right? Like, you want to come here and do a free show in here and make 500 people lose their minds, like that, because it helps them, right, with their reputation and all that. Like, what a cool thing.
Yeah, especially they were running them tabs up that night. Everybody had a $400 tab at their table.
It was a lot of upside down beers.
Yeah. I must have had at least 4 or 5 of them shits. I was hammered. Yeah, that bus life is so. It's almost hard to explain. People don't even like how awesome it was. I just for a dude like me at that point where I was at, that was the most beautiful position. Like, you roll around. And you just every night's a different awesome crowd, a different city, at the beginning I couldn't go up without 4 shots of tequila. Like, people were pulling me aside, like, bro. Noe was like, bro, I used to do that too, bro, but it doesn't lead you down a good road. Like, I was getting them talks because my anxiety was through the roof every night with 5,000 people.
And if you were getting that talk from Noe,
he has one of the craziest. I don't want to say it here because it was illegal shit. And I don't know what the statute of limitations is. But that motherfucker did some of the craziest shits I ever heard when he went to Korea. That guy, of all guys, he's the most calm, cool, chill guy. But the stories he'll bust out when he was on that fucking yaks, wild, bro. Blow your mind. But so wait, so what after the specials filmed, you going right back out? You hitting what's the situation on the road right now? 2 buses and an 18-wheeler?
Let me see. When everything went, when everything stopped, we had 2 buses and we had 3 trucks. One truck for merch, and then 2 trucks for production.
What a caravan that is! 3 18-wheelers and 2 tour buses, bro.
That's what I was telling people. It's like WWE meets the Food Network. It was awesome. It was the biggest tour. You know, it's the biggest tour we've done, and it just like, oh, really? Okay. Man. You know what's sad is that the name of my tour is called God, what's the name of the tour right now? Oh, yeah, no. The catch line is "Go big or go home," and I'm like, holy shit! I did this to myself.
Yeah, I mean, how much is your gas bill on that damn tour? Jesus Christ! I mean, man, that's got to be a hefty one. That's clearing $1 million easy. 3 18-wheelers and 2 buses. Jesus Christ! How many cities already? I mean, obviously, it's going to be every city in the world that you want to go to.
The problem is that we had a lot of, every entertainer out there that had shows booked, everything just got pushed back, rescheduled. Nobody wanted to cancel because nobody wanted to, lose out on potential money. But yeah, the calendar right now it's pushed, booked out until about 2023 before we have to. We got to make up all the dates.
Yeah.
You too? You're booked till 2023 too? Thought it was just me. I do have Des Moines Funny Bone.
We're actually supposed to be in Europe right now, but again, it's one of those. Next year maybe.
You know what? I was so spoiled. The Australia thing. That's the one. Getting down there with them crazy ass boys. Oh, just hanging out in Milan and Seb. Oh. That's just random, by the way.
It's crazy.
International travel. I just brought that up.
It's big of a pain in the ass. How much does it suck for all of us that make our livings through entertainment? You kind of think, like every now and then the universe is like, everybody needs to take a nap. You know what I mean? Like we just need to calm shit down. Everybody stay home for a while. Too many of you are married. Let's kick the divorces up. Like, I don't know what the purpose of this thing was, but I can't wait to see what it is because a lot of things have changed. Workplaces, the way they run now. You talk about these venues now setting up to where they're like adaptable to this, capacity changes coming left and right and all this stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what this pandemic, because I always feel like everything happens for a reason, what purpose this served for entertainers. Like, how is this going to make our lives better 5 years from now? Like,
all I know is I've never slept so much. Man, I'm getting some Z's. I average probably 8 to 10 hours a night.
That's
really
nice.
Yes. That's good. You probably haven't done that in forever, right?
But look at his skin. He's got no bags. Guy's got tight skin. The dome's looking good. I mean, your skin is just tight.
No filter, people. No filter. All that sleep. My dogs are having the greatest life right now. They're like, this is awesome. We're in bed all day, and then they wake up.
Yeah.
Of course, I got to jump in the car and go hit Starbucks. Some habits don't change.
Maybe that was it. Maybe we just all needed the nap. We needed to get a lot more sleep, and now we're good. Let's kick it back in.
I definitely feel like I've taken advantage of being home, getting myself better. I'm down almost 70 pounds, so that was a big one right there. Hey, water pills work wonders.
How many times you piss in a day on them things?
Oh, man, you got to time it. You got to time it just right, because they will drain you. Take 2 pills and I'm going for at least 3 hours. Back and forth.
Well, let's talk about Space Jam. What's we got? July 16th release date there. What's popping off? Is you the voice of Speedy Gonzalez?
Yes, I am the voice of Speedy Gonzalez. I am, I think, officially the first Mexican to play Speedy, which is hey. They're voiced by everybody but,
Yeah.
And they almost took the part away from me. There was a writer in New York who had written a thing about, Pepe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez. He put the two together and talked about how, these two guys need to go away because they're bad images and stuff. And I kind of chimed in and Warner Brothers liked that, so they were like, "Hey, thanks for defending the character," and so they're on board with helping to push the character more.
Well, good.
Awesome, dude.
So Pepe Le Pew's you won't see Pepe Le Pew in Space Jam.
He was canceled.
He's out.
He's a little gropey.
Yeah.
Now, whoever did his voiceover, do they still get paid, or how's that work? Is they still getting paid, right?
I guarantee you, they still get paid. They still get paid. Yeah. As soon as you sign that contract, whether you use it or not. The crazy part is that after he got canceled, I got more lines. But I didn't make extra money, so yeah, it goes both ways.
What a wild life! You're gonna be Speedy Gonzalez in the new Space Jam. God.
By the way, I loved your character in Narcos, dude. That barbershop scene, bro.
That's range right there. I can go from being a cartel, cartel member with a shotgun to a mouse. That's, both sides right there.
Oh shit! I always see how pumped up people are when you do your giveaways on Twitter, and you give away a ton of merch, and you're always just interacting and just giving back to the fans in like a cool way. I mean, nobody. Some people do giveaways here and there, but no one's on there just dishing it out. The Funkos have taken over.
Yeah, and people still get upset too, because something is just, how come you give to them and not to us, and how come it goes over here but not over there, So it's
always going to be that person, right?
No matter how much you do, people are still going to get upset and complain about it. But yeah, I put the Funkos out there. I was fortunate that to build that relationship with that company, and these little guys right here.
Yeah,
the Funko figures.
Nice.
Who knew how huge they were? I mean, I was already a fan of. I thought they were cool, but I had no idea of the pandemonium of craziness that comes along with it. I got to go to Comic-Con, and I saw it's just like, it's like, wow, people go insane for those, and those suckers on the black market, man. Upwards of what, Juan? What'd you see? Like 10,000. I think there's a Manny Pacquiao one that's gold, that's autographed, and they want like 10 grand for it.
Wow.
Get that gold. You got that gold fluffy one?
Yeah, well, because I have Krylon, and so I kind of, I made some rose gold ones, and I think they go for $19 on the black market. Get yours today.
When you have, I was lucky enough to. One of the other humongous perks that is not that what people wouldn't look at it as like glitz and glamour. Being on stage was I got to, you gave me you just didn't hand it to me. Like, I was very lucky to get on the tour, but a lot of people, like, they assume that, you just go on a tour, you just live in this lavish life and you didn't earn it or nothing. And, you just got lucky, but you made me work a lot. Like, I had such a good perspective of everything because you made me also work. Like, you're like, all right, you're on the tour, here's what you get paid. The first, however long, I'll let you go up whenever you go up, and then just help. And I helped with merch because that's how I started. When I would come hang out with Ivan, I used to love it because I bartended for so long, and so, a lot of people don't understand this because they see a merch booth usually at a concert, and people all stand in a nice organized line, and they all wait for their Def Leppard shirts, and I'm up next. But at your shows, it was like a fucking bar. It was like bartending. They all bum rush it. And it's just like you're just grabbing cash, hitting shirts. I'm taking 3 orders at one time. All right, you want two extra large fluffy tour shirts. You want a bobblehead, a hat, a kid's beanie, and then you're just $85, buddy, and you're just running it, right? And I had so much fun doing that. And then obviously,
I love that you'd be out there hustling, slanging, and then you're like, Ivan, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go do my set, and then you go up on stage, perform, and then come back and sell stuff.
Yeah.
Weren't you just up on stage?
Yeah, because I used to at the beginning I would want to change. I'd change and then go up there, and then after a while I was like, who gives a fuck what I'm wearing? Like, I just was like, I had the merch on, and I was selling the merch before the show, and then the first season of the tour that I was with you, I never knew I would only get it was like also a test every night because I never knew until about 5 minutes before the show started if I was going, and there'd be the host and then I would go first. So I was always on edge, like, am I going up tonight? I'm doing the shirts and I'm waiting for the call. And then, we had a walkie talkie, and then Ryan would be like, Ryan to Latham, you're doing 5. you know, and then I'm like, peace. And then I'd fucking Ivan be on his own and shit. I'll be out there. I'll go do my 5 minutes and come back, dude. It was fucking awesome, man.
So how did you decide, Gabriel, who went up each night?
You know, it's just one of those, like, whatever I was feeling, you know.
Well, everybody else went up. When I was new, I was like you ever watch, any of these Sons of Anarchy or Mayans, you know, you're the guy.
You were the prospect.
Yeah, you're the prospect.
I was a prospect. I was basically the first year I was a prospect. And then I got an audition for the next year on your first season of Stand Up Revolution. And then when I remember when you sent me the text after I did I had a really good audition. Like I got lucky. I mean, I hit it nice. That Bray Improv just fucking boom. I hit it wonderfully. And then I remember the call you got and the text. I remember that one text like a few days later after the audition. And I saw your name pop up on my phone. And I was like, oh, here we go. This is it. And it said, it was a joke where he's like, I really didn't like your set too much, but Comedy Central really enjoyed it. It looks like you're going to be on or something like that. And I was like, yeah. But I was still so like hesitant. Like even after we filmed it, after that amazing weekend of like basically it was a comedy festival. All those seasons of Stand Up Revolution that we'd film at the at Stand Up Live. And then but that first one, I was so like, oh man, the universe is never this good. I was waiting to like say it's going to air. And then somehow I was just like Mike Britt from 1996 Comedy Central was going to take my spot. I just didn't say, nope, I don't care until I see my mug up there. You just got that's how comedy makes you think after a while. You're like, you always know that this shit is just too good.
Is it real?
Something's going to go wrong here.
Yeah. Cause I'll tell you, when I did the Aloha Fluffy special, I had comedian G Riley close out. Like, you know, I always thought that was one of those specials where a lot of things happened that I felt like, no one's ever done this. Having another comedian close your special for you. Because I told this story about the racist gift basket.
That's right.
I don't even know what would happen if I told that story today. But telling a story about playing a practical joke on someone and then having the person who I played the practical joke on come out on stage and tell their side of what was happening and how they and
it crushed.
It killed.
That's awesome.
Killed. And I thought that was awesome. And so it was supposed to air, and for whatever reason, they cut G. Riley off of the special.
See?
And I remember the night that we were all watching and you know we're all excited, and he had called his whole family. Everybody's tuning in, and no one told me that his thing got edited out. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God. And he goes like, you know what? And I told him, I go, I'm so sorry. I go, that wasn't supposed to happen. I go, you know, he goes, no, I should have known better than to get excited. And, you know, why was this going to be any different? And I felt so terrible.
Oh, no.
I didn't know. And that's when I called my manager, Joe, and Joe got an earful because that was his responsibility. He knew he messed up. And fortunately, Comedy Central made it right a couple weeks later. They made sure to play the entirety.
Oh, that's cool of them. Yeah.
But that initial like, you never know until you see it. Okay.
That's why I saw my name on there. I was like, okay, but I gotta see it. But that was someone. And then I actually on that Hawaii special, I got to do some. I opened up for you on that one. I got to do a set on that special with that crowd and that background of that fucking electric ass room, man. I'll tell you what, people just don't know how electric Hawaii is. Like the crowds are just unbelievable.
You remember we had the guy that came out and blessed the show? He brought
Reno.
No, not Reno. The venue brought in somebody to bless the show.
Oh, in the afternoon.
Yeah, he came in with like leaves and like some candles, and they blessed the show.
I completely forgot about that. That was great. Yeah, dude, that was our Thanksgiving. This is what we do every Thanksgiving. Todd, I think I've told you before, but in case I haven't said on this podcast, every year for Thanksgiving, Gabe will just bring, for all the married homies on the tour, all the production and management and stuff, they would bring their whole families, and then we would all go on a fucking monster team effort. And that was our Thanksgiving. And for Thanksgiving, we'd load up on a bus and go to a luau, Jermaine's luau, which was unbelievable food, open bar drinks, fucking amazing fire show, just luau dancers, pig in the dirt. They dig it out, but you know, the whole party is around it, just watching it. After you get your lays, take pictures of the most amazing sunset in history. You go dig the pig up. They start getting the meat, putting it out there. You're drinking these crazy ass rum drinks, just with the perfect breeze and shit, man. Oh, I'm telling you what.
That was awesome. Every year we would do Thanksgiving in Hawaii, so that was my excuse to get away from family members here that I didn't want to hang out with.
Yeah, you brought your intermediate family. We went, dude.
I got to go to work. I can't.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry,
gonna have to have Super Thanksgiving in Maui. So.
Oh shit. How's the V-Dub Center doing there there at your shop?
The V-Dub Center, yeah. Well, shoot, it's I want to say we're up to about 30.
30 V-Dub buses in there. Look at them. Look at that.
Nice.
Oh man.
Oh, I love it.
I saved the link the other day because it was too early in the morning for me to text it to you, and I forgot to send it to you. Because then you said you would come on the podcast, and I forgot everything else I was doing. But I got this one little baby one that looks so awesome. I gotta send you the link. It's on Facebook. I saved it. But every time you've like rebranded V-Dub Bug in my skull.
Nice. well, Seinfeld became known for the Porsches, his Porsche collection, and I thought it was funny that Leno gave me shit for. He goes, you have the same car over and over again. He goes, how boring. I go, no, because people are going to associate me with this car. I go, why? There's a method to it, and so that was the idea. I
love it.
You go with the do you have some of the more unique ones with all the windows all the way to the top and all that shit?
Oh, yeah, they all got the 21 or 23 windows. The majority of them are 21 window buses. Wow. And then I got a couple actual bugs. You can't see them in the picture, but they're buried in there.
Do you want to do one where the roof opens up in the back to like a bar top, and we can have a griddle back there, and it will just open up like a transformer to like a bar, and you're in there, and then you just fucking run in a taco spot with beers in it, dude. The whole car.
I've hired companies that have their own Volkswagen buses, and they come out. One had a DJ booth in it, and one was actually a bar. So
nice.
Yeah, it's
great.
I'd rather just rent those. I don't need those.
Yeah. I want one so bad.
Well, they'll come out, but yeah. Don't
my new one of my new pipe dreams is to have a box truck. But the box truck, it opens up to a stage, and then it also could be a bar. You have the stage in there, but it opens up to a bar, and then you take the staging out across the way, and you just have your own comedy club wherever the hell you want at any time.
Yeah,
and
that would
bomb. You pack it up and drive right the fuck. What'd you say?
I said that would have worked perfectly for this past year.
I know. Me and Todd rebuilt his home. We turned Todd's little shed barn into a bar. I'll send you the pictures. We built a straight up pub in Todd's backyard in Indiana.
It's amazing when you get bored enough, what you can get done. It's like, fuck it. You know what we should do? Turn that shed into a bar.
Yeah.
3 comedians out here for 16 days in a row. Just transforming a shed into the coolest fucking backyard bar in Indianapolis.
Hey, so you said you had a comedy club?
I had 3. Well, I was partial owner of 3. We had Morty's Comedy Joint in Indianapolis. It used to be Comedy Caravan in Louisville, and it is again now, but I think we called it the Laughing Devil when we had it.
Laughing Derby.
The Laughing Derby, yeah. And then Wiley's Comedy Club in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a brief run, 3 years. It's a good way to exhaust your life savings.
Nice.
But it was fun. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about, how the sausage is made, and, I learned how agents work and all that stuff. So
you had way more. You had Morty's longer than 3 years. You had for 9 years.
Well, I didn't. The other group did. I joined in for maybe 4 years, but yeah, it was a good little run. It was a great education. Like if you're going to be in comedy, to get to learn all the bullshit that goes on from the club angle, way useful later on. Like especially with booking, and understanding, why you're actually not worth this much money, even though you think you are, it was very useful. And I, to this day, still have agents that I'm friends with just from booking. So I'm glad I did it. I wouldn't do it again for sure. No way I would do it again.
Yeah, I thought about getting into the business. I inquired about the Ice House.
Yeah.
And then also too, I talked about doing a partnership with the Improv and opening up a club kind of like in the Santa Monica area.
Yeah.
But it didn't pan out. And it was just like, the numbers were like, yeah, it's going to be a while before we see a return, or I can just go through a weekend and green.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's such a tough, like I'm friends with the group that owns Heliums, and they're very successful as a chain or whatever you want to call it. Right. And I was in the mom and pop comedy club business, and to see the difference between the two, that's the mom and pop. That's the nightmare. Like if you have backing, you have money and you have resources, way easier, because the mom and pop game is like, man, one bad month can really just fuck it all for everybody, Like,
that's when you hear things like, can you work with me?
Yes. Like one.
Oh shit. Well, Fluff, man, we're so thankful that you took the time to come on here. I'm so excited to see you back out there crushing it. There's a strong chance that I just set up shop,
Where are you at now? Because every time I talk to you, you live somewhere different. And by the way, Todd, there was a point in time when he literally lived on the bus.
Yeah,
he didn't have an actual address. His address was wherever the bus was going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I can see it. I mean, dude, he was like the road warrior when I first met him. You know what I mean? Then we became roommates for a year, and we lived right behind the comedy club in Indianapolis. But he was the road dog of all road dogs, man. Sleep in my car. He didn't give a shit. Drive 18 hours for $600. Like, I loved it. And I was wanting to be a full-time comedian then. I still had my regular job. So when I met Shaun, it was like, oh, this is like real comedy, man. This is the dirt. This is the shit. So I loved getting to know that side of comedy, because I didn't have a lot of friends that were road dogs like that then. And that's about the time that the clubs happen and stuff. So for me, like learning as much as he learned from you about the business of comedy or whatever, I learned a lot about road dogging from Shaun, because when I met him, man, he was just, he didn't really have I don't think you had a place. You were just on the road all the time.
Well, no, I didn't have a place for 3 or 4, I'd say 4 of the years with Gabriel, and because we were never home. We left January 1st. We didn't get home until July 3rd, and then we were off for a month.
Dave on the road.
Yeah, no, I would just when I went home, I would just stay with Ivan or Martine for the first couple of years, because we were never there. And then we had a month home in July. We'd fuck off for a month, and then we were back out in August. That's when we do that run, down the coast, starting in Boston, right into all the beach cities and shit, all those fun ass outdoors shows. So and then when I got to Indy, though, I just had this, I was with the Yoder booking, and boom, they were just giving me everything. And I had I had the Comedy Central credits, and I was running my 45 was pretty good. So they were just throwing me everywhere. And I was like, bro, I'll take it all. Yeah. And I moved to Indy, and that was it. And then we get that spot. But now, and I was in New York, obviously, the last time you were there. But I got rid of my apartment, and then I live down here with my girlfriend now, and my fiance. I'm engaged, Fluffy.
What?
Yeah. And I live in New Jersey with my lady.
Okay. You still got that grill?
I still got all. Which way? Teeth or fire?
No, the fire.
Yeah. I don't get rid of any of that. Anything cooking wise.
Yeah, the Cadillac grills that he was telling me about, and I'm like, oh, dude.
Yeah, Traeger.
He's got the setup for sure.
But I will say, I was at my mom's house last week. My mom moved back to Ohio. So I drove to go hang out, and I smoked some brisket and ribs, but where you babysit it all day with the coals. You got a fire going over there, getting all your coals, and you bring it over like natural smoke with just wood stuff. And that shit's way more work for the 9 hours. But guess what? The flavor was tripled. No offense to Traeger. It's a great $2,000 machine, but the $90 fucking smoker that we used with 9 hours of work, it was just way more of an intense flavor. I mean, that was another amazing thing. We bomb rushed barbecue spots throughout Texas.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Todd,
everybody's blood was 90% sodium.
Oh. We're talking like the barbecue spot they give it to you on paper, bro. You walk it over like many amazing barbecue places.
My favorite year of my life, I think, just because of food, is when my parents moved to Texas, Longview, Texas, and it's East Texas. And I lived there for a year. I didn't have any friends because I didn't wear Wranglers and didn't wear, ropers. So nobody would talk to me. But the food was stupid. Like all the seafood and barbecue spots. There was a whole, I'm going through Longview, Texas. Like every other shop is a barbecue spot. One of those, like, there wasn't even a table. You just get in there and you could stand on the counter. There might be 4 spots and just a wall full of beer, and then 2 dudes back here just cranking out meat. Like, I loved it so much.
Oh, damn.
And on that note, lunch, guys.
Lunchtime. Hey, Gabe, man, thank you so much again. So pumped for you to be back out in these streets, about ready to crush this special. We obviously know it's going to be unbelievable, not because we just expect it to be, because we know that you're still working as hard on this special as you did your first one. And I see your work ethic almost as much as anybody can say, I believe. And it's a goddamn honor, and I can't wait to see the product. And I'm coming to San Antonio, and I'm going to eat barbecue and sit in the back of the room and fucking die, because I can't wait. It's going to be unbelievable.
Thank you, Shaun. It has been a pleasure,
man.
Todd.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you. Thanks for hanging out, man. It's awesome.
Thanks, Fluff. Appreciate you, Gabriel Iglesias, man. Gabriel Iglesias, let's go.
Hey.